The Cold War was not just a conflict of political ideologies, it was a geopolitical chess game that spanned the globe and reshaped the modern world as we know it. Our story begins at the end of World War II, when two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, emerged from the ashes of war, each armed with competing visions for the future. The rivalry between these giants would dictate the trajectory of global politics for nearly half a century. From the late 1940s to the early 1990s, the Cold War was characterized by an unyielding tension that influenced international relations on multiple levels. The roots of this ideological standoff lie in the opposing economic and political systems of capitalism, as championed by the United States, and communism, as advocated by the Soviet Union. Each superpower sought to spread its own ideology across the globe, leading to a world divided not by physical barriers, but by philosophies that fueled an arms race and endless debates in diplomatic chambers. One of the most significant impacts of the Cold War was the creation of military alliances that structured global politics. NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, was established in 1949 as a collective defense pact among Western nations aimed at curbing Soviet expansion. Not long after, the USSR and its Eastern Bloc allies formalized their own alliance through the Warsaw Pact. These military alliances signaled a clear division of Europe, and by extension, the world into two armed camps, each backed by nuclear arsenals. The arms race between the superpowers manifested in a frantic buildup of nuclear weapons, which led to a state known as mutually assured destruction. This paradox of deterrence maintained a precarious peace, as neither side could risk a conflict that threatened colossal loss. However, the presence of nuclear weapons on such a scale forever changed the nature of warfare and international diplomacy, introducing terms like brinkmanship, which describe the practice of pushing dangerous situations to the edge of disaster. The Cold War era saw several proxy wars, where the United States and Soviet Union backed opposing sides in localized conflicts around the globe. From Korea to Vietnam to Afghanistan, these wars were battlegrounds for Cold War ideologies, often leaving devastation and division in their wake. The ideological clash extended beyond direct military confrontation, spilling into arenas like space exploration. The launch of Sputnik in 1957 and the subsequent space race showcased the technological and strategic one-upmanship that characterized much of the period. Economic competition was another critical front in the Cold War. The Marshall Plan, initiated by the United States, aimed to rebuild war-torn European economies with a focus on free market principles, countering Soviet influence in the process. Meanwhile, the Eastern Bloc adopted a centralized, state-controlled economic model aimed at showcasing the superiority of socialist principles. This economic dichotomy not only deepened the ideological divide, but also influenced global development patterns. Yet, in the shadow of division and competition, the Cold War also prompted alliances and cooperation in unexpected areas. The rivalry spurred scientific advances, led to the creation of international organizations like the United Nations, and eventually enabled diplomatic breakthroughs such as détente period of eased tensions. These efforts laid foundations for today's complex web of global governance and transnational cooperation. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked the official end of the Cold War, but its legacy continues to influence global politics. The geopolitical landscape it crafted can still be seen in the way nations interact, create, and break alliances, and pursue security. The Cold War's imprint remains visible in contemporary policy, from nuclear non-proliferation efforts to the enduring division of Korea. In conclusion, the Cold War was more than a simple ideological tug-of-war. It was a transformative period that reshaped global alliances, redefined military and economic strategies, and accelerated technological advancements. The echoes of this prolonged conflict continue to reverberate through international relations today, reminding us of a past where the world stood on the brink, yet somehow avoided tumbling into chaos. As history has shown, understanding the Cold War's impact on global politics is crucial to grasping the complexities of our current international system.